Hi, this is Raj from MR Sportscars. Here I've got a very well specced 2011 model year Porsche 997 Gen 2 Carrera S, finished in absolutely gorgeous Meteor Grey Metallic. Brilliant colour for the 997 Gen 2 era cars. Very much sought after because it's so forgiving for marks and dirt. It just always looks very clean and fresh, and it hasn't aged badly or anything like that. Now this car has some really nice options, including obviously the red taillights, LED taillights, the Carrera S Mark II 19-inch alloy wheels, which have got Pirelli P-Zero N-rated tyres on them. So there it is, N2, which have got great tread on them as well. Discs are also very good, discs and pads. They were replaced at Porsche not that long ago. There's the front wheel. These wheels are unmarked. New centre caps as well from Porsche. And there's the discs, very good condition. And the tyres are Pirelli P-Zero N2 at the front with great tread as well, as you can see there. Now at the front, it has the self-leveling Bi-Xenon headlights, which are also in great condition. They're not cloudy or anything. They're very nice and crystal clear. LED daylight running lights. And then one of the unusual options that I see on some of these cars, especially with the PDK box, is the super hot country option. So there's a third radiator under there. Normally that's just a blanking plate, and there seems to be no rhyme or reason whether the car has those options or not. Some UK cars, same model, same spec, don't have that. And then at the back, it's spec with the extra wiper at the back, just there. And then on the inside, it's got the extended black leather, which is what most people want with white stitching. So it's got extended leather on the doors, on the dashboard, with the stitching there, as well as obviously on the seats, the rear seats. So obviously this is a 4-seater, and all of that leather is in great condition. I'll show you the edge there. I'll show you this seat here as well. So they're the comfort seats. So they are two-way electric. So the backs are electric, the height adjustment's manual, and the moving it forward and aft is manual as well. There's no like nasty scuffs on the backs of these seats either. The rear seats fold down, and there it reveals the other nice option on this car, which is the BOSE subwoofer. So it's got the I think it's 12 speaker system, but I'll look it up in the spec when I'm looking through this video. And there's the BOSE there. Also, if you want to see where the amplifier actually is, it's just under the seat here, under the driver's seat. You can see the BOSE. Hopefully you can see the BOSE symbol there. That's where the amp is. It has the universal audio interface, so it has all the connections for the wired connections. You can also get a Bluetooth dongle to convert these to Bluetooth audio streaming. It has Bluetooth connectivity for phone calls. Let me just put the key in. There we go. So it has a full satnav system. And it has a phone module as well, which once it's loaded up I'll show you. Has the heated seats, full climate control system, so you set the temperature and it will determine where to put it, but you can manually determine like how fast you want the fan, where you want the air to come from through the vents. And then it has the other desirable option, especially with the 7-speed semi-automatic gearbox. That's an optional box, the ZF gearbox, which works full manual, full auto, a combination of the two. You can put it in full manual mode, you can push it forwards and to go up a gear, pull it back towards you to go down a gear. You can also control it on the steering wheel, which is the optional multifunction steering wheel, So it has all the controls for controlling the stereo, as well as answering phone calls, hanging up, picking up, that kind of thing. It also shows you the other great option is that it has Sport, Sport Plus and launch control, which would light up on that side. So that's also comes with that stopwatch there. I've stopped that on 993 because I think these cars are sort of the modern day 993 in terms of shape, in terms of desirability. They're the sort of svelte but yet chunky, like hipped Porsche 911 of the modern age, and that's why these cars are so collectible now. They are a very similar vein to the 993, but obviously water cooled rather than air cooled. These cars, these 997 Gen 2s also, I'll show you the engine quickly while I'm talking about it. The engine in this car is the 3.8 litre because it's the S model. So that's a 3.8 litre flat six, produces just under 400 horsepower, 385 horsepower, and from memory, I think it's around 310 foot-pounds of torque, and it will do 60 in around 4.2, 4.3 seconds, which is phenomenal for a four-seater sports car. Very, very fast car. It's obviously rear-wheel drive because it's a Carrera S. Now, these engines are the ones to have because they, in 2009, they introduced what's called direct fuel injection engines, which did away with all the issues with the pre-2008 water-cooled cars. So that's IMS bearing failures, RMS oil seal leaks, and the big one, which is very hard to detect unless you've got a camera down in the engine looking at the cylinder walls, and that is bore scoring. So this car doesn't have any of those issues, and this is why the sweet spot of buying a Boxster Cayman or 911 like this is 2009 and basically up to 2015, and that's the years I focus on. But this car is sort of bang in the middle of that. It's the last year, 2011. It was actually pre-registered the 23rd of December 2010 by a Porsche dealer. It was with them for just over a month, and then it was sold to its first owner. But it does show 4 previous owners, including that first Porsche owner, to pre-register it, get the sale in before the end of the year. And you see that quite common when the cars are registered in December, that it's literally to bolster their sales figures for the end of the year targets that they have as a dealership. So coming back inside, as I said, it's 4 previous owners. It's pretty much been serviced the whole life by Porsche main dealers. The last service was by Porsche. There is one extra service by a non-Porsche dealer, but it was a Porsche specialist, and that one was actually done, I suspect, as a part of a sale, because it wasn't required, it wasn't sort of scheduled, and I'll talk that through. It's done 53,718 miles, which is very low for what's come on to now over a 10-year-old car. And yeah, it's been serviced last at Porsche Exeter. So I'll go through the file here. So options wise, silver instrument dials, which you can see there. The silver face stopwatch for the Sport Chrono Package Plus, the Super Hot Country version, so that's that 3rd radiator, high performance summer tyres, PDK, heated seats, which are the comfort seats, and then the 19-inch Carrera S II lightweight wheels. This is something I produce for all my cars, and you can see this. You can download this PDF and look at it, print it out on my website, mrsportscars.com. On the ad of the car, it has a switchable suspension, which means it sits 10mm lower than a car without it. Still a nice ride height though. It doesn't like catch on speed bumps or anything like that. Obviously has traction control, top tint on the windscreen, which is grey top tint. The Bi-Xenon headlights, Alcantara roof lining in a lovely black, which again is unmarked. It has lights in the sun visors too. The full navigation system, and then also there's the phone. My phone is connected there, so you can take calls and make calls through the system. You just hang up or pick up there, or on the steering wheel, or on the screen it will actually come up, do you want to accept the call? Because this is a touchscreen satnav system. Other things it has two 12-volt jacks, one here and also one in the passenger footwell there. It has rear parking sensors, Sport Chrono Package Plus, as I've mentioned, PCM with the extended navigation module, which covers all of Europe as well. It has a vehicle tracker, with 2 tracker fobs. If you want to activate that, that can be done. BOSE, which is a 12 speaker system, 440 watt system. It sounds phenomenal. And multifunction steering wheel. The original Porsche floor mats as well are all there and in good condition. Universal audio interface. So that's all those bits. And then I've listed out all of the options as well as all of the standard stuff as well. So it has hill start assist, for example, so it won't roll back when you're on a hill. It will actually engage the rear brakes until you start pulling forwards. It has the roof transport system. It doesn't have a sunroof, which some people prefer not having a sunroof because it's a simpler, cleaner look on the top. And then I've also plugged it into my PWIS 3 diagnostic system. Only has range 1 over revs. Range 1 and 2 are absolutely fine. Actually, range 3 is actually all right as well. 4, 5 and 6 requires further investigation. It's basically just, but it's just touched the red line. 1 and 2 are just below, at or just below the rev limiter. So this car is absolutely fine in terms of not being used on the track or anything. It hasn't been misshifted. Even though you can't really do that in a PDK, it's still nice to see that the ECU is corroborating that this car has been looked after. Likewise, the car records mileage as well as engine hours, and you can do a calculation to work out whether you think that is sensible. And this car is well within what you would expect, so basically 25 to 35 miles an hour average speed over the life of the car. So that indicates that this car hasn't been clocked or tampered with. And the same with all of the data that this car holds about itself. It holds all the options, as well as the VIN number, engine number, what colour it is, what colour the interior is, even the roof lining. Everything is defined in the electronics of the car. All of that is verified as correct and accurate. Nothing's been cleared or wiped. So that all points to this car being genuine as it was from the factory and never been messed around with or tampered with. And then the history, so it was registered 23rd of December 2020, and it was actually owned by Porsche Centre Mid Sussex, so it would have sat in their showroom for, I think it was just under 2 months, so about a month and a half they had it. And then in 2011 it was actually registered with its first sort of private owner. And the car itself actually says it's a 2011 model year car, so it was produced to be sold in 2011. It was just sold a little bit early, obviously, to meet that sales target by that Porsche Centre. First service was done at the same Porsche Centre Mid Sussex, then Porsche Centre Hatfield. Then in 2013, the next one was in theory due in December 2015, but it was done in June 2014, so quite early, by a Porsche specialist here, Elite Motoring. Then 2015 Porsche Colchester, 2017 Porsche Colchester, 2019 Porsche Colchester, and then the final one, January 2021, Porsche Centre Exeter, and that was done at 51217. It was a major service, including spark plugs, four-wheel balance, and the MOT, and everything that needed to be done was done on time. Also, at the 6th year, it had its PDK service, which is something else to look out for. That should be done, and also the drive belt was replaced as well. So 51217 versus 53718, so it's done 2,500 miles since its last service. Next service is due in 17,500 miles, or by January, end of January 2023. So that's all that. All the HPI checks and everything have come back good, as is the MOT history. There's only one fail, which was due to the number plate not being the correct spacing, and that was in 2021, so obviously that was switched out. It was probably a private number plate, and it's only ever had one other advisory its whole life. Well, actually, yeah, offside rear nail in tyre, and that's obviously been replaced since that because there's no other mention of that being an issue. And then it has the invoices. I won't show you those because they have details of the customers on there. But yeah, in summary, it's a great sort of good provenance car, with all the history and everything mapped out in the original stamp service book as well. But as I said, that PDF is something you can download if you want to have a look for yourself at who's looked after it and all the different options that this car has. You can do that at your leisure through my website, mlsportscars.com. I'll start it up now and show you some of the other bits. I'll show you the spoiler working. You can obviously hear the engine when I start it up. These cars sound classic Porsche. That sort of like flat six thrum is just unbeatable, and unfortunately in 2015 they sort of got rid of that with the 3-litre twin turbo engine, so they went to a smaller output with turbocharging to basically meet stricter emission standards. That's why people love these, because they're a 3.8 litre normally aspirated engine, which sound very much like that classic thrum you expect from a Porsche. So that's the car started. I'll just show you the spoiler going up. So you can manually put it up here. It automatically goes up at around 70 miles an hour, but I'll just engage that, and there you can see it coming up. So that's it fully up. It has an extra brake light there. And then I'll put it down. And then I'll show you the front boot as well. There's the fuel filler, always on that side at the front, and there's the front boot. This car has a Porsche battery because essentially it was under Porsche extended warranty until January of this year, end of Jan, and there is the Porsche battery. And then I've got all the original tools are there. So the locking wheel bolt, the 12 volt tyre top up, the towing eye, set of tools, and the tyre gel as well. So everything is as it should be on this car, well, as you'd expect, and it is in fantastic condition, fantastic original condition. Nothing's ever been changed on the car. The other thing I should mention is that it has what's called paint protection film on a lot of the front panels. So it has it on for example, the wings, the front bumper, and also just on the leading edge of those sills there, I believe, as well as the wing mirrors. And then the rest of the car was treated by Porsche with a 5-year ceramic coating. There's the paperwork in the car to show that it was done in, I think, beginning of 2020. And so that should last for 5 years. So it basically protects all of the paintwork, makes it very easy to clean because it's super slippery and it sort of repels the dirt. So that's nice that that's already been done, and it's obviously undamaged and untouched in terms of its protective nature, being only sort of 2 years, just under 2 years. So everything works as it should. Obviously sounds fantastic, drives fantastically as well, and yeah, it'll be a real pleasure for someone to own and cherish. If you're interested in the car, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks for watching.